Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The city that almost became UK's richest ahead of London, with huge harbour for 1,000 ships. It is the richest city in the whole country, a harbour fit for 1,000 ships. Or so went the quite exaggerated description of the city by 12th century writer Justa Stefani. But during the 12th and 13th centuries, Bristol did indeed emerge as one of England's most important and wealthiest cities. With its expansive natural harbour, booming trade networks, and advanced medieval architecture, the city was on the path to becoming Britain's economic powerhouse. Despite its early success, Bristol was eventually overtaken by other cities due to shifting trade routes, political changes, and industrial transformations. Today, remnants of its medieval past still stand, offering a glimpse into a period when Bristol was at the forefront of commerce and urban sophistication. Founded in the early 11th century, Bristol quickly grew into a vital economic hub. By the 12th and 13th centuries, the city had cemented its position as one of England's richest and most strategically important urban centres. Read more, the UK city where locals say the Green Party have turned it into a prison. Bristol has always had the geography to become a great power, and it did. The city's natural harbour, where the River Avon meets the River Frome, made it an ideal location for maritime trade. By the 12th century, the city was one of England's busiest ports, connecting trade routes with Ireland, France, and even Spain. Goods such as wool, wine, salt, and fish passed through Bristol, while the city also became a key exporter of tin and lead. The harbour's significance was further enhanced by the construction of the port of Bristol in the medieval period, which allowed larger ships to dock and boosted commerce. This economic boom led to Bristol becoming England's second most important port after London. The money that would have flowed into it is evident in its beautifully ornate buildings. Bristol was architecturally sophisticated in the 12th and 13th centuries, reflecting its great wealth and influence. Many of the city's medieval buildings and churches were constructed during this period, showcasing impressive stonework and Gothic elements. One of the most formidable castles in medieval England was, in fact, in Bristol, playing a crucial role in the city's defence and administration. While St. Mary Redcliffe Church was completed in its final form much later than the Middle Ages, its early medieval structures on the site were regarded as architectural masterpieces. Then there's St. James Priory. Founded in 1129, it remains one of the oldest surviving churches in Bristol and a symbol of the city's religious importance. The city was also known for its well-planned streets, fortified walls, and bustling marketplaces, setting it apart from other medieval towns. A powerful merchant class drove Bristol's rise. Local traders amassed great fortunes through commerce, and by the 13th century, Bristol had its own merchant guilds, which controlled trade regulations and influenced city governance. The city also benefited from royal favor. King Henry II and King John granted Bristol various trade privileges, further fueling its growth. All of these things should have combined to have cemented Bristol as Britain's wealthiest and most powerful city. But today, it isn't even the UK's second city, that is Birmingham. So, what happened? Don't miss Bristol's secret Victorian street, buried deep underground insight, Bristol Travel Guide, how to spend a weekend in the UK's most creative, city-latest, major UK train station is one of the worst places to be pickpocketed report. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. Bristol was eventually surpassed by other cities, particularly London and Liverpool, and there are many reasons for this. During the 14th and 15th centuries, England's economy shifted. Wool, once the backbone of Bristol's economy, began to decline in importance. Meanwhile, London, which had better access to European markets, solidified its dominance in the wool trade. While Bristol remained an important port, the emergence of Liverpool as the primary gateway to the Atlantic in the 17th and 18th centuries diminished its status. Liverpool's location made it more accessible for trade with the Americas, particularly during the transatlantic slave trade. By the 18th and 19th centuries, cities like Manchester and Birmingham emerged as industrial powerhouses, drawing economic activity away from Bristol. Meanwhile, London's dominance as the UK's financial and political capital became unchallenged. Unlike Liverpool's deepwater docks, Bristol's harbour had natural limitations that made it less suitable for larger ships. The tidal nature of the River Avon often made navigation difficult, restricting the city's ability to accommodate growing global trade. Unlike other once great towns and cities around the UK, Bristol hasn't fallen into obscurity. It is still regarded as one of Britain's best and most appealing metropolises, having achieved this through keeping up with the times. The old Bristol Harbour, for example, has been transformed into a cultural and leisure area, home to attractions like the SS Great Britain, the Shed Museum, and a thriving art scene. Today, Bristol is one of the UK's leading cities for aerospace engineering. It houses major companies like Airbus and Rolls-Royce, and has also developed into a centre for technology and innovation. Despite losing its medieval dominance, Bristol remains rich in history. Visitors can still explore medieval landmarks, such as St. Mary Redcliffe Church and the ruins of Bristol Castle. The city also embraces its maritime past, with events like the Bristol Harbour Festival celebrating its seafaring heritage. In recent years, Bristol has gained recognition for its environmental efforts. In 2015, it became the European Green Capital, leading the UK in sustainability initiatives. However, while the Greens recently gained power in Bristol, residents are already voicing dissatisfaction with the direction they are taking the city in.